Have you ever looked at the bottom of a padlock and noticed a tiny hole near the keyhole? It is so small that most people never think about it. Some assume it is a flaw in the metal. Others imagine it might be a secret way to open the lock without a key. But that tiny hole is not a weakness. It may be one reason the lock does not slowly destroy itself from the inside. A padlock is built to resist people, hands, tools, force, and tampering. But in real life, one of its biggest enemies is much quieter: rain, moisture, rust, and time. Before we understand the whole, we need to understand where padlocks actually spend their lives. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. A lock built for the outside world. A padlock may look like a simple block of metal, but it rarely lives a simple life. You find it on gates, fences, sheds, lockers, storage rooms, trailers, warehouses, and shipping containers. It is often left outside for years, doing its job with little shelter. This became especially important as padlocks moved deeper into outdoor life during the 20th century. Industrial sites, public storage, shipping yards, and exposed gates needed locks that could survive weather, not just force. Rain, snow, humidity, dust, mud, cold nights, and hot afternoons all work on the metal. The lock may look still, but the environment is always touching it. When a padlock becomes difficult to open, people usually blame age, cheap materials, or tampering. Sometimes that is true, but many problems begin with something smaller: water finding its way inside. The simpler an object looks, the smarter it has to be about surviving the world around it. And once water gets inside a lock, it does not always leave on its own. The real enemy: inside the lock. Inside a padlock, there is a small world of moving parts. There are pins that rise and fall, springs that push back, a rotating cylinder that must turn at the right moment, and a shackle that stays locked until the correct key releases it. From outside, the lock looks solid. Inside, it depends on tiny parts moving in a precise order. That is where water becomes dangerous. When moisture slips inside and stays there, it settles around springs, pins, and metal surfaces. Over time, corrosion begins. Rust forms. Friction increases. Parts that once moved cleanly start to drag. At first, the change may feel small. The key becomes harder to turn. The shackle does not pop open smoothly. You may need to jiggle the lock, but the damage is already building. A lock does not have to be broken to become useless. It only has to stop moving. That is why the smallest opening on the lock may be one of its most important features. The tiny drain that saves the lock. That tiny hole works like an escape route. On many traditional brass or steel padlocks, it sits near the bottom, close to the keyhole. On some models, it appears on the side or at the base. The position can change, but the idea is the same. Give water somewhere to go. When rainwater, melted snow, or condensation gets into the padlock, the hole lets it drain out instead of sitting inside the mechanism. It does not look advanced. For a lock that may spend years outdoors, that small exit can make a major difference. Think of it as a tiny gutter built into the padlock. A roof needs a gutter because water follows gravity. A lock needs the same idea on a smaller scale. Give water a path, and it is less likely to collect around the springs, pins, cylinder, and metal surfaces that must keep moving. Good design is not always about adding complexity. Sometimes the smartest solution is just a hole in the right place. But the clever part is that the hole does not only let things out, it can also let something useful in. A maintenance port, hiding in plain sight. The same hole that lets water escape can also let maintenance enter. When a padlock starts feeling stiff, the lock is not always finished. Sometimes the tiny parts inside simply need help moving again. The key may scrape, the cylinder may resist, the shackle may lift slowly, as if the lock has forgotten how to open. That little hole gives you a direct path into the mechanism without taking the lock apart. A drop or two of the right lubricant can travel through the opening and reach the pins, springs, and cylinder. Once there, it reduces friction and restores some smooth movement. For long-term care, a lock-specific lubricant is usually better than spraying whatever is nearby because some sprays can attract dirt over time. If the lock has been sitting in rain, even a quick shake can help water leave through the hole. Small habits like that can save you from a rusted, jammed lock later. And surprisingly, the hole may have mattered even before the lock reached your hand. Useful even before you buy it. Before a padlock ever hangs on a gate or a shed, it has to be built. Inside that small metal body, manufacturers must place springs, pins, cylinders, and pieces that hold or release the shackle. They have to sit in the right position, or the lock will not feel reliable when someone turns the key. In some padlock designs, that small opening can support positioning, adjustment, or inspection during assembly. This does not make it a grand manufacturing secret. It is one practical detail in a design shaped by production as much as everyday use. For the owner, it may be a drain and a maintenance port. For the maker, it can belong to the quiet logic of assembly and quality control. A good industrial detail often serves more than one person: the maker, the user, and the object itself. But because the hole sits so close to the keyhole, it has also created one very common myth. No. It is not a secret way to open the lock. Because the hole is small, mysterious, and usually near the keyhole, it has created a tempting idea. Maybe it is a hidden way to open the padlock. A padlock already feels like a puzzle: a metal body, a keyway, a shackle, and a hidden mechanism deciding whether everything opens or stays shut. But that hole is not what people imagine. The drainage hole is not a direct path into the unlocking mechanism. The parts that control the lock are protected deeper inside, behind pins, a rotating cylinder, and layers of metal. Poking something into the hole will not release the shackle. Trying to use it that way is more likely to damage the lock than open it. You may block the drainage path or push debris deeper inside. The hole is there to protect the lock from water, not to give someone a shortcut around the key. Still, that does not mean the hole has nothing to do with security at all. A small clue against damage and tampering. Its role in security is quieter and more practical. In some cases, that small opening can help reveal that something unusual has happened to the lock. A locksmith or careful owner may notice residue, blockage, moisture, or damage around the hole and keyway. These clues do not tell the whole story, but they can suggest that the lock has faced more than ordinary weather. The hole can also reduce damage in a simple way. If someone tries to disable a padlock by forcing glue, dirt, or another liquid into the keyhole, the drainage path may give some of it a way out. It does not make the padlock impossible to sabotage, but it can reduce the chance that everything stays trapped inside. Durability is not always about stopping every threat completely. Sometimes it is about making damage harder to build up and easier to notice. This is not a main anti-theft feature, it is practical resilience. And that leads to the bigger idea: the hole is doing more jobs than it seems. One hole, 4 jobs. So this tiny hole is not one feature, it is several features compressed into a space most people never see. It drains, giving water a path out before it sits around the springs, pins, and cylinder. It receives maintenance, guiding lubricant into the mechanism when the lock becomes stiff. It may serve the maker during assembly, positioning, adjustment, or inspection. And in certain cases, it can reduce damage by helping moisture, dirt, or unwanted liquid escape. It drains. It receives lubricant. It helps the lock survive weather. It may even help reveal or reduce certain kinds of damage, all from a hole smaller than the tip of a pencil. And that is what makes this simple detail feel bigger than it looks. The beauty of quiet engineering. Most people judge a padlock by the obvious parts. They notice the heavy metal body, the curved shackle, how sharply it snaps shut, and how secure it looks on a gate or chain. Those are the parts that make a lock feel strong. But sometimes the detail that helps it last is not the thickest or most visible part. Sometimes it is the smallest opening on the object. That is the beauty of quiet engineering. It does not need a button, label, or warning sign. It simply sits there, solving a problem most people never think about until the lock becomes rusty, sticky, or impossible to open. And once you notice it, everyday objects start looking different. A hidden vent, a small notch, an unexpected hole. These are not always accidents. Many are answers to repeated problems. The padlock's tiny hole is one of those answers. It exists because metal meets weather, because water finds cracks, because moving parts need space to survive. The next time you see that tiny hole, it will not look like an accident anymore. It will look like a quiet agreement between metal, weather, and time. A small opening that helps a strong object survive. If this tiny hole changed the way you see a padlock, imagine how many other everyday objects are hiding stories in plain sight. Share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Secret of Simple Things for more simple things with surprisingly smart reasons behind them.